And when I look at the borders, I'm almost disgusted that our Royal Navy, the best Navy in the world, no shadow of a doubt, we have the best Navy in the world. I make sure that people are safe and I start stripping them down. Okay, broken people come to me, I strip them down and I make them realize what they're capable of. We are on that edge where violence has hit the streets. We've all seen it. I don't need to mention what it is, we've all seen it.
Trust in politicians is at an all-time low in the UK, but it's not just empty complaints. There are real consequences to this breakdown in faith. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Middleton and Ricky Gervais are teaming up to expose the harsh realities behind the political facade.
I do know about national security. I do know about safety. I do know about personal safety. I do know about community. I do know about teamwork. I do know about coming together. I close those gates. Let's call it the border. I close the gates and I make sure that no one comes in unless they benefit the environment. 2, if they benefit the individuals in my camp, i.e. the countrymen and women. If they benefit them, you can come in.
From border security to broken promises, they're pulling no punches. Ready to hear the truth that your leaders don't want you to know? When it comes to national security, who would you trust more? A seasoned Special Forces soldier or a politician? Middleton, the former SAS operative and star of SAS Who Dares Wins, has stepped into the spotlight with some alarming revelations about the UK's border security. And let me tell you, what he's saying isn't pretty. Middleton isn't just another talking head. This is a man who's been on the front lines, who understands the importance of security protocols better than most. So when he starts comparing the UK's border control to a botched military operation, we'd better sit up and listen. What's got Middleton so riled up? Well, imagine if you were running a high-stakes military mission, but you had no idea who was coming in or out of your base. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? That's exactly how Middleton sees the current state of UK border security. He's not mincing words either, stating bluntly, "We haven't got a secure camp because we don't know who's coming in. This puts the nation at risk." Now, you might be thinking, surely it can't be that bad, but Middleton's not pulling any punches. He's calling out the political system for being weak and ineffective, arguing that the current border policies are doing more harm than good. It's not just about paperwork or bureaucracy. Middleton sees this as a serious health and safety risk for the entire nation. Think about it. In the military, soldiers are vetted before missions. Why? Because you need to know who you can trust when the chips are down. Middleton's asking why we're not applying the same logic to our borders. He's advocating for strict checks, arguing that it's essential if we want to protect the nation. But here's where it gets really interesting. Middleton's not just criticizing, he's offering a perspective that only someone with his background could provide. He's looking at border control through the lens of military discipline and effectiveness. In his view, leadership isn't about making grand promises or giving rousing speeches. It's about earning trust through consistent actions. And that's where the rubber meets the road. Middleton's warnings aren't just about abstract policies or political point scoring. They're about real, tangible risks to our safety and way of life. He's painting a picture of a nation vulnerable to threats we can't even see coming, all because we're not minding the store at our own borders. Just when you thought the debate on UK border security couldn't get any more intriguing, an unexpected voice joins the fray. Ricky Gervais, the acerbic comedian known for skewering celebrities, has turned his razor-sharp wit to the world of politics. But what's prompted this unlikely shift, and how is he amplifying Middleton's message? Gervais, never one to shy away from controversy, has stepped into the political arena with guns blazing. In a recent social media broadcast, he didn't mince words about his view of politicians. we're in critical times right now, I'm extremely concerned for the beloved country that I fought so hard for. It's a stark departure from his usual comedic fare, reflecting a growing frustration with the current political landscape. But can a comedian's take on national security be taken seriously? Gervais seems to think so, and he's not alone. His commentary, a potent blend of humor and scathing critique, has struck a chord with many. By using satire to address weighty issues like border security and immigration, Gervais has found a way to engage a wider audience in these critical discussions. The public reaction to Gervais' political commentary has been predictably mixed. Some praise his ability to articulate the frustrations many feel towards politicians, appreciating his no-nonsense approach to calling out perceived inadequacies. Others, however, question whether a comedian has any place in such serious debates. It's a classic case of the court jester speaking truth to power, but in this instance, the jester has millions of followers hanging on his every word. Gervais' involvement in the political debate, particularly in relation to Ant Middleton's claims about UK border security, has undeniably amplified the conversation. His platform allows him to reach millions.
I think I've been naive all my life. It's not till now I just go, why do we trust them? Of course we shouldn't trust the people in charge. That's how they're in charge.
Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime, and it makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
Raising awareness and prompting viewers to reconsider their views on national security. It's a powerful example of how celebrity influence can shape public discourse on critical issues. But Gervais isn't just parroting Middleton's concerns. He's adding his own spin, using humor to highlight the disconnect between political promises and reality. This technique not only entertains, but also encourages critical thinking among his audience about the state of the nation. It's a clever way of making complex issues more accessible, breaking them down into bite-sized, often hilarious chunks that stick in the mind long after the laughter has faded. The impact of Gervais amplifying Middleton's message cannot be overstated. By bringing these concerns to a broader audience, he's forcing a national conversation about border security that might otherwise have remained within more limited circles. He's challenging his followers to look beyond the surface of political statements and consider the real-world implications of policies and practices. The collaboration between Middleton and Gervais has undeniably sparked a national conversation on border security and political accountability. Their combined voices have resonated with a public increasingly skeptical of government assurances. Recent polls show a decline in public trust regarding border security, with many citizens questioning the effectiveness of current policies. This aligns perfectly with the critiques put forward by Gervais and Middleton, suggesting their message is striking a chord with the British public. But it's not just about border security. The involvement of these two high-profile figures in political discourse has broader implications. Experts suggest that when celebrities like Gervais and Middleton weigh in on political issues, it can significantly influence public opinion and encourage civic engagement. Their critiques may lead to increased scrutiny of political leaders and policies, forcing a level of transparency that might otherwise be lacking. As this story continues to unfold, the impact on public trust and future policy remains to be seen. Will Middleton and Gervais' warnings lead to concrete changes in border security measures? Or will their critiques be dismissed as the ramblings of celebrities out of their depth? One thing's for certain, the British public is now paying attention, and they're not likely to accept political platitudes at face value anymore.